Movie starts and a man named Sapala is shown. It was once regular to tour on sleds in that era. Sled rides had been used to shift matters from one place to another. For this, different dogs had been used. Sapala was additionally a sled rider and has a fantastic breed of dogs. They make their travel and task easy. One day, a pup used to be born and it used to be a domestic dog of Siberian husk. These dogs are used to being vulnerable and Sapala thinks it is useless, as he can't take this canine on a sled ride with other dogs. He wants to supply this dog to any individual else, however his wife would not choose this. She keeps all the puppies like her kids. She named it Togo and says, "I love it like my kids. They are near my coronary heart and I do not desire to make them separate from me. We must provide Togo a hazard and it is youthful now. We now not take out any conclusion quickly about it." Sapala does not favor this, however even then he has the same opinion with his wife. Togo was once developing elder with the passage of time and it was once naughty. Sapala used to be irritated via it. His spouse constantly asks him to take Togo with him on a sled ride. He says to his wife that it is weak now, and it cannot live on a sled ride. Sapala offers Togo to his buddy, however his spouse is aware of none will keep it because it is naughty. It takes place the identical the next day. His pal brings Togo back. He says, "This canine of yours is naughty and I cannot preserve it with me." His wife smiles at this because it used to be naughty, and whenever Sapala takes his puppies on the ride, Togo goes in the back of him. Even he ties it in a fence, however it runs from there while digging the earth. It runs after Sapala and it enjoys with other puppies arriving there. Due to it, Sapala's practice ruins what was he instructing his dogs. One day it falls into the water and Sapala used to be fed up with its acts. He locks Togo in a room, however it moves out from there somehow. One day Sapala convinces his girlfriend to preserve Togo, but she was strict and says Togo has to stay in the room. Sapala doesn't have any trouble with it and leaves whilst losing Togo there. After a short time, Togo breaks the reflect of the window and comes out and reaches Sapala. He turns into involved seeing it and notices its palms are additionally injured, and they were bleeding, so he makes Togo take a seat on the sled for taking it home. Togo does not desire to sit on it and wants to run with the different dogs. After attempting hard when Togo did not take a seat on the sled, Sapala ties it with the other dogs. After transferring at a distance, he notices Togo is energetic and runs swiftly than other dogs, so he ties it in front. Togo takes them domestic quickly with its speed and Sapala will become happy and start it up to see Togo and tells his wife how swiftly Togo ran. He even tells his wife it is a lead canine and was once turning into completely happy to see Togo. His spouse also turns into completely satisfied to see it. Later, Sapala wins many sled races with the help of Togo. They grow to be well known gradually. The time passes like this and now 12 years have passed. Togo is proven elder and one day it returns to its city and discovers a sickness has been spread in the town named diphtheria, and it was affecting the kids. The kids had been losing their lifestyles to this sickness and every person was once worried. Mayor calls a meeting and Sapala goes there and he tells them there is an antidote to this disease. It is 600 kilometers away from Nevada, but it is hazardous to go there as a huge storm is arriving. Mayor asks Sapala about the weather, and he tells, "When I was once returning, the puppies have been panicked to see the weather." Togo was additionally getting panicked and it has achieved this after many years. We have to be concerned if it is concerned. Later, he leaves, and when he comes out a health practitioner asks for the lift. Sapala drops him at the medical institution on his sled. Sapala sees many youngsters are unwell in the hospital and their lives will be in hazard if they will no longer deliver the medicine. Sapala receives lost in his ideas and tells his spouse that when he gets home, he will go take medicine. He says, "I will take Togo with me," however his wife says it is now 12 years old, and you stated it is no longer strong. The weather is additionally now not right and I don't choose you to be a purpose for its death. Then you commit your complete life to the fact that Togo died as a result of your actions. Sapala does not desire to go besides it and he leaves with Togo while saying appropriate bye to his wife. As Sapala was once transferring with his puppies, the storm used to be additionally moving forward. The wind used to be so challenging that Sapala couldn't see anything. Togo was once in the front and Sapala was once asking his puppies to move forward. They have to return soon whilst taking medicinal drug from Nevada. And he was on a deep slide with his dogs and Togo stops there. Sapala couldn't recognize something and finds a large ditch. And Togo has viewed this horrible ditch even in his storm. It stops due to the fact of it and Sapala used to be saved along with his dogs due to it. Meanwhile, Sapala sees Togo's foot was once injured, and it was once bleeding as nicely after traveling the entire day. Sapala and his dogs reach an outpost. There used to be a woman medical doctor at that outpost and tells Sapala that Togo is now 12 years old, and now it has come to be weak. This long experience is not excellent for Togo, but even then Sapala and his main dog Togo cross forward. The situation of the youngsters was once getting worse in the hospital, and Sapala used to be shifting ahead with his dogs. He used to be taking shortcuts for reaching his point soon. He sees there is a terrible frozen lake, and the storm used to be additionally moving closer to them from the other side. Sapala would not get scared and asks his puppies to go forward on the frozen lake that was transferring with their steps. The puppies were transferring forward and in some way go the lake. After visiting the total day, they reach a checkpost and take a rest there. Sapala's spouse goes to the mayor and tells the medication has been dispatched from Nevada, and Sapala will get them on his way. He is moving ahead through shortcuts and his tour will be longer if he will not get these medications. Sapala is shown achieving a checkpost after visiting for an entire day. Togo's condition was worse, but even then it wishes to cross forward and lead. Now it happens the same Sapala was once shifting from his shortcut, and if you will not locate the man bringing medicine from Nevada, so his tour will emerge as difficult for him. Sapala gets tired and his eyes have been closing, but his puppies had been shifting ahead like electricity, and man is shown came from Nevada. He has the medication and stops, however Sapala was once moving forward with his dogs. The man calls him, however Sapala was once misplaced and the hard wind was once also blowing as well. Due to it, Sapala couldn't hear that man's voice, but Togo has heard something, and the man used to be thinking Sapala did not hear him and moved forward. The man sees Sapala was once returning, because Togo has stopped there and Sapala has the medication for which he has come so far. Now they end at a checkpost and his pal asks him to go away. Togo here. I have lost my many dogs in those terrible storms. I don't prefer you to lose your lovely dog Togo. But he refuses and says Togo is my lead dog and I cannot tour without it. Sapala once more begins traveling with his dogs. The lake show up in front of them, which he has crossed with his dogs yesterday. Now the lake used to be shifting, but if they will not go by means of it, their trip will enlarge one extra day. Sapala decides they will pass forward on this way, and asks his dog Togo to move forward, and now his dogs have been crossing the lake speedily. Now the water used to be also coming out of the lake, and they will be ended if they will be drowned in it. Because of the speed of Togo and different puppies, they some way reach the shore. The piece with which they will pass forward, the piece strikes and separates from the shore. Sapala throws Togo to the shore and asks it to pull that ice piece. Togo used to be injured, however even then it applies its force. It takes them to the shore and now they come out of the frozen lake. They were trapped, and Sapala miraculously saves his puppies and transports them to a checkpoint. The woman doctor used to be additionally there, and seeing Togo, her eyes crammed with tears. She says, Sapala, your canine is demise and its situation is worse. She additionally makes Sapala upset as he also loves Togo. Then after spending a night, when he begins his experience, he ties Togo behind. It used to be sick and cannot travel. Even then Togo stands at its position, and Sapala understands Togo doesn't want to take a rest. It needs to stand in its place. It wishes to cease its journey. It ties Togo in the front and they begin their journey. After a few hours, the storm becomes terrible that Sapala cannot see anything. He could not see the way and goes to Togo and says, I cannot see further. Now you have to show us the way and take us to the subsequent post. Sapala covers his face and Togo takes them forward. Moving at a distance, Togo gets tired and sits there being tired. Sapala goes to it and says, you have to stand up and we have to take that medicine. We will be ended right here if we will not pass forward to our destination. Togo wasn't responding him. Sapala used to be completely happy that he escaped because of Togo, but it wasn't responding him. Then a man comes to him with a lantern, which ability Togo has carried out its job here. It has conveyed Sapala to the checkpost and he will become completely satisfied to see this. Everyone was once saved due to the fact of Togo. Now they go inner as Togo's circumstance wasn't well, and there used to be a man sent with the aid of Sapala's wife to take that medication whilst reaching the outpost. So he will return quickly to the location, the place youngsters are sick. They take a rest at night. The man moves in the morning whilst taking the medicine. After a brief time, he reaches the city known the place a reporter used to be ready for him, as this information has spread in New York that a man has long gone on a long ride for bringing medicine. The reporter was once wondering maybe the man has returned with his team. Now the reporter prints that man's identify in the information except for Sapala. Sapala's spouse used to be disillusioned and Togo was also recovering. Now he reaches Nome with his dogs. Many humans come there for thanking Sapala and his dogs. The youngsters additionally come here who have been recovered due to the fact of Sapala. A female arrives and asks while seeing Togo, is it dying? Sapala moves out of his residence listening to this and his spouse moves at the back of him. He says to his spouse, Togo is in this circumstance because of me. It was once of 12 years and I shouldn't take it with me. His spouse asks, is there anybody without for Togo who can do this? Sapala becomes silent as he is aware of none may want to do this except for Togo. Sapala is once more shown going for exercise the next morning with his dogs. Seeing this, Togo additionally needs to go with other puppies and would not prefer to stay at home. Sapala is aware it does not choose to pull sleds but wanted to spend time with Sapala. After some time, Togo recovers and he used to go on a lengthy experience with his spouse and Togo. Togo have some children after 2 years and many mushers come to buy them. The breed of those dogs was once given a new title, Sapala Siberian. Later, Togo died in 1929 but Sapala uses to teach the dogs. Togo used to be a famous canine in his city. This was once Togo's story. Togo has demonstrated in this story that dogs are the most devoted creatures on the planet. Here this film ends. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.